Hey, hi, howdy, hello. I'm gonna turn off my Bluetooth because that'll probably work better. I don't know how well you can hear me through my Bluetooth. Anyway, so I've been away. A while. I can't really remember the last time I went live, to be honest with you. So I just figured I'd do a quick one to say hello to everybody and give a proof of life. I'm still alive. The boys are good. We're getting through things, and matter of fact, I'm sitting here waiting on him to get out of school. So I figured I had maybe 10 or 15 minutes I could say hello. It's been wild over the last few months. Trial is coming up. I can't really go into detail on his trial because some of it's still sealed, so there's not a lot I can say. But what I can say is that we are well. Some of it's been rough. Other parts not so rough. But we've managed. Hello. We've managed pretty well, considering everything that's happened, to be honest with you. It's, yeah, I know I don't have my camera on me because I'm at the school and I don't want nobody doxing my kids. So, you could probably understand that. If I put the camera on, there's a small chance somebody could see the name of the school or see somebody else's child, and the fact that my ex is a lunatic who wants to Minecraft us, probably not a good idea, because somebody has already doxed us to him before. So we're just not going to do that. Discrepancy Deutsch. Ich liebe dich. But anyway, it's mostly just been maintaining and seeing court proceedings through and making sure everybody's okay. Six, 7. Yeah, if the big trial goes through and he gets federal time, it would be better for us because we would be safer for longer. But I can't tell you what our justice system is doing right now. It'll all be okay, I'm sure. We've been okay so far. I went offline for a bit just to focus on us. And I'm still offline, technically, because I'm not going live, really. I occasionally pop back on here, but anywho, so I've been doing a lot of research, hey Tammy, on what they call the dog man. And supposedly, not supposedly, I'm sorry, but like, that's one of the things that irk me, is when somebody says supposedly with a B instead of D, and that's not even a word, okay? But, you know, to each their own. But supposedly, Maine is supposed to be like one of the hot spots for the notorious dog men. And so I thought I would do kind of like a segment on that, and maybe do a panel and have people tell their paranormal stuff, like stories and stuff about ghosts or cryptids or just spooky stuff. But the dog man is different than a werewolf. I didn't know that, because I'm like, well, why are they calling it a dog man? It's a, what's the difference? Why are they not saying werewolf? Why are they calling it that? Well, there are some major differences between a dog man and a werewolf. There's also a difference between those two and a Wendigo and a skinwalker. None of them are the same thing. I found that out in my research. But apparently, the dogmen are a big, big thing in New England. I'm talking like New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine. Like most of your northern states have stories that go back into the 17 and 1600s about these dogmen. They don't look like werewolves. They usually range between 10 and 12 foot tall, and they very much look like dogs, but massive. And they don't ever turn human. A werewolf is a human or humanoid that turns into a dog-like creature or a wolf. They shapeshift. But the dogman doesn't do that. It is always a dogman. Hey, Fallen. And I found that interesting, because I went like in a rabbit hole. I'm like, okay, so what are the major differences? And how can you tell them apart? Well, when they're in the wolf or dog form, there are a couple of differences. Like, the werewolf has more human-like characteristics, but their savagery is like on another level. Dogmen are said to be incredibly sentient and intelligent and capable of communication. Maybe not through speech, but through vocal cues and body language. And there have been stories about these dogmen forming bonds with landowners in like trade. Like, they keep your property safe if you keep their identity or their presence there, like, to yourself. Or you feed them, or you give them some kind of offering as a show of respect. A werewolf doesn't care. They will eat you either way. They're kind of like a dog with rabies. They want to infect you. The dogman doesn't really see it that way. They try to stay away from humans. They don't try to interact unless it's beneficial to them. They're on a whole nother level when it comes to intelligence, from what I gather. And a Wendigo and or Skinwalker, they're two different things. Wendigos and Skinwalkers are also not the same thing. Wendigos are more centralized to the northern states, because if you look up what a Wendigo is, it's a person riddled with starvation and cold. Most of the time when you see a Wendigo, the air turns cold, and it's like they starve to death in the snow kind of vibe. And they're ravenous, and most of the time look like a frozen cadaver. Skinwalkers are more akin to a druid. Wendigos get cursed because they eat the flesh of their own people, like cannibals. Skinwalkers are cursed for doing, I can't remember what it was that got them cursed to be a skinwalker. They can shapeshift into other animals. Wendigos don't really shapeshift. Not so much. They are pretty well what they are. And there's not really any changing that. But the one thing they do have in common with a skinwalker is they can mimic. Like, you don't whistle at night, you don't do certain things, you don't answer something that calls your name in the forest, you don't follow it. Both of them have the ability to mimic your loved ones, animals, scream, anything they can use to lure you to them. And when that fails, they will hunt you down. And werewolves will too. But the dogmen are kind of just, you stay out of my area, I stay out of your area. If we can bargain, we will, but otherwise leave me alone. That's one of the major differences between the dogmen and these other three cryptids. And I've noticed like a spike in the sightings of these dogmen, and the only thing that I can think of is the deforestation of our states in our wildlife parks. We are seeing like forests getting chopped down, but the thing in Maine is very big on keeping its forests untouched and unperverted by man. They are wildlife conservationists. They care about their forest and their wildlife here. So you're not going to see as much of that in this state as you would, like, maybe more populated states. But the only thing I can think of to explain this uprising in sightings is the lack of places to hide anymore, because people are cutting down their forests, they're displacing them, and they would ordinarily just stay to themselves, but when you're cutting down their homes, they have nowhere else to go. Hey, Aries. So that would make sense. So I thought about doing a whole live stream on going over what dogmen are and some of the key differences between them and other cryptids. I'm okay. I mean, I'm working through some things, like as far as trauma goes. And I've had a hard time with some of it. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not all been easy. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that it has, because it hasn't. But we're doing our best. My oldest had his midterms this week. He's passed everything. He is doing great in school. Like, his grades are better than they've been in years. If that tells you anything. Like, his grades are better this year than they've ever been. In the last, 4 years. And I think that it's because we removed the stressor out of his life. And he's up for an academic award this year. Award for excellence. So, super proud of him. He's overcome everything we've been through this year. And I continue to be amazed by him. Not a lot of kids could come through what we've come through and still maintain his academic prowess and achievements. But he has gone above and beyond, and I am so proud. Because I understand that what's happened has been traumatic and awful and continues to be traumatic when the threat of the person getting free comes about. Because I can understand how terrifying that is. But I will continue to do what I'm doing and keep them safe, primarily from him. There's an indefinite protection order. And if he does violate or try to harm them, I will have him arrested. I'm not going to bat an eye, because he's not going to torment them. He did get invited to do the NASA program this year. And I think we're going to do that. My son is not mean. He is a man. He is my big man. He might be a smart ass. But he is my son, so what do you expect? Of course he's gonna be a smarty britches. He's my son. He is amazing, though. Little man is in a couple of little clubs with his school. He's doing great with that. He's made all kinds of friends. I got him into snowboarding. He's really liking that, and it's been fun for him. And I've mostly just been focused on safety and homework and juggling everything. He is sassy. You think the oldest is sassy? My youngest will give him a run for his money. You just think the oldest one is all the sass, but no, it's the youngest one that, oh my Lord, he is a hot mess. He will roast you and make you think you asked for it or something, you know? I love it, though. I love it. He don't take no shit off nobody. He has enough of me in him for that. He won't take no shit. You give him shit, you better be prepared. You better be prepared for what you get back, because he will come out swinging. You will regret life if you decide to pick a battle of wit with my youngest. Because you have to remember, he's grown up with Mike. And Mike, he don't play. But G-Man will make you regret all your life choices at one time. So, there's that. But anyway, but that's about all the updates I've got for now. It's about time for him to get loose. I see the kids coming out. So I'm gonna hop off here and grab the baby, and then we're off to grab the oldest one. So I love you guys. Y'all be safe. I'll be back soon-ish, I think. Y'all be good and be good to each other. Talk to y'all later. Bye.